So basically what happened is during the match between Estral Esports Estral Esports versus DSG. Yeah, between Estral and DSG, there was like a super long pause because of all the DDoSing happening yesterday. It was like hours of pausing, and in the middle of it, I wonder if somebody has the photos. Anyone have the photos of what he's doing? Like the screenshots? Here it is. Somebody in the background of someone's player cam is clearly watching the VOD of the game, and that is absolutely insane. Yeah, someone says he watched a VOD of their current game. How is that a big deal? What? What kind of... Yeah, exactly. How's that a big deal for him to be watching a game that he's currently competing in? He couldn't possibly be getting any sort of unfair advantage from doing that, could he? Anyways, he got caught. No one knew who it was. Turns out it was Summit. And so he got disqualified for the rest of the tournaments, as he should be. I'm not really even sure, like, if this is the end of it, right? I feel like Summit probably needs to... He probably should get like a way more harsh punishment for this that extends way past this tournament. This is sort of like a career-ending... This is really a career-ending moment right here for him. Yeah, I just don't see any world where I feel like he gets out of this like scot-free or whatever. And they have Draven Nautilus, bro. Yeah, I think like 6 month, 1 year ban into retirement. Anyways, Estral Esports made a statement. They said, to our passionate community, we would like to address the recent provisional suspension of our player Summit and clarify our position. We understand the frustration and outrage this situation caused, and we fully share your feelings. Our series faced significant technical challenges, including DDoS attacks on Riot servers, which resulted in a pause of more than 2 hours without a clear solution or effective communication from the on-site officials. In this way, I think they are like, this part is true. Playing in NACL, have had pretty bad communication, like, you know, obviously with the Winthrop stuff as well. The officials don't have that much experience because they're relatively new, and it's understandable that how fast that they work during like a refereed or officiated decision, something like this, it can be confusing. We acknowledge that amid the uncertainty, our player made a mistake by watching a stream during the pause. That's actually crazy that that's what they said. He's watching their game during the pause. He didn't open up just chatting and watch his favorite fucking VTuber. He's like watching the game that he's playing in. So I don't see how, like, this is such a downplay of what's happening. It's actually gaslighting. However, there was no bad faith or intent to gain an advantage. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy to say that. It was an unfortunate action that stemmed from an unsustainable situation. What purpose do you have to watch the game that you are playing in that is currently paused if it wasn't to gain an advantage? Did he want to just go jerk himself off to how sick he would play like a certain all-in? He's like, dude, I'm so fucking cool. And hold on, let me just go back in this VOD and check out how I'm looking. Am I mewing hard enough into the camera? The running narrative is that someone wanted to watch a good play he made right before. Jesus. Check out Twitter. Where is it? Link. Makes me wonder how many players have done this in Tier 2 while remote during pauses. How could they ever police this? They should punish everyone that they catch. And yeah, I mean, ideally, there is some sort of way for them to police this. But they made it sound like this guy was bored to hell and booted up Candy Crush and was punished for it by bad and unfair Riot. How convenient, not mentioning that he was watching a VOD of the game they're in pause. Trying to downplay what happened instead of accepting a fair punishment is grounds for just disqualifying the entire team, since they clearly don't understand what fair play is. Get them out. Yeah, I agree with that. Not even a mention of the other one who's messaging someone on Discord. They should address that as well. I don't think Ghost should be on Discord, but the only reason someone got caught was because the monitor was in view of another webcam. Yeah, definitely. I feel like intent doesn't really matter here. You're obtaining a massive advantage by being able to tell game state. Summit is a veteran player that has played League competitively for almost a decade at the highest levels of play. He should know the rules very well. This is malicious intent at worst and massive negligence at best. It is true that the pause was long and it was frustrating for players, but there are a million things you can do in a computer that won't involve cheating. Yeah, pretty much perfectly sums up everything up. People who play on bot accounts in the league, scum of the earth. Did he not pull up the VOD right after the pause? Yeah, someone says they pulled up 5 minutes in, but I can't confirm or deny that because I didn't watch the entire VOD. Why do you need to watch a stream of your professional match in the middle of a match when you are in a long pause? I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable no matter what the intentions are. No matter the intent, they gained information they were not supposed to gain, no matter how small it is. If an average person knows you can gain any information like summoner CD, locations of enemies by even watching that one team fight, then a pro player will 100% know this as well. I completely understand the frustration of a long pause, and it's unfortunate what happens. I do feel bad for the players and staff that have to sit through this, but there's no way a person thought pulling up a VOD of your ongoing match is a good idea. Yeah, there's really no way to slice it. What he did is completely insanely fucked up. Do you think he knew what he was doing, honestly? I would be really surprised if a pro player veteran of 10 years doesn't know what they're doing when they pull up a match that they're playing in. This is literally common sense, guys. If you are in a solo queue game and you know there's a streamer on the enemy team, pulling up their stream at any point during the game, even if somehow the game is paused, you know that you're cheating. You know that you're getting unfair advantages. You're not I hate this idea that it's just like, what? I had no idea that pulling up the game would give me any info about like wards, CDs, enemy positions, like possible like objective starts, every single piece of information that you can get just by glancing at the game. Like just one fraction of a second looking at the minimap, a pro player is going to be able to make a trillion times better decisions than if they were still kept in the dark, obviously. Like having Fog of War disabled for a millisecond is going to change literally the entire game. Even something as simple as knowing what camps are up. But like, you know, that's like more like fine granular details. Just like literally enemy positions and sums and CDs in general. Old CDs, timers is just going to give you a crazy advantage. The entire game is a stretch. You're just low elo. Like I don't know what to say. Like you're literally just low elo. If you okay, for 1 second, if you ask any pro player, hey, what are your odds? Like, how much do the odds of you winning the game go up? By being able to look at the enemy team screen for 1 second. Every high-rated player is going to tell you that is an unbelievable advantage. That is a massive advantage. The only reason why you would think otherwise is if you don't have a lot of game knowledge yourself, so you can't imagine how much of an advantage that is, but it might not change the course of the entire game. Bro, like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, it almost certainly will. And when we're talking about two professional teams playing for a spot in the LCS, I do not want a team or a player that is willing to do that to a cheating player in the league. All I'm saying is viewing the minimap for 1 millisecond won't 100% change the course of the entire game every time. Yes? Okay, so you went from, what's the big deal? Both teams are trash, to esports needs some drama, to the entire game being changed as a stretch, to it might not change the entire game, to it won't 100% change the entire game. So you literally change your position like 4 times in the span of like 5 minutes instead of just admitting that you're wrong. Crazy stuff, bro. Pleasant human. Yeah, I really don't think that Summit's going to get away with just suspension for the tournament. I feel like they're being pretty lenient right now because they want to investigate like fully what actually happened. Then when they have all the facts straight, they're going to like pull out the fucking gavel on him.